Tran. I'm a product designer and photographer based in Toronto. So I started photography back in 2015. I was just browsing the internet one day and I saw a bunch of photos. This one particular photo that stood out to me from my friend Jimmy. Him and his buddy were into the subway system, and he got his one buddy to hang upside down from the middle rail. And then from there, that really took my interest and I wanted to take photos just like that. And from there, it just took off. Started shooting every day. I remember skipping class to go take photos. And any opportunity I got to shoot, even after class, during class, on the weekends, I would go out and shoot. It wasn't until my third year of school I realized that I didn't want to do engineering as a full-time job, but photography was very unstable. So I had to find like another outlet, something that would be that segue between arts and sciences that engineering didn't really fulfill. So after doing some research, I came across the role of product design, but it's not product design in the truest sense where you're creating like actual physical products. Instead, it's more so product design catered in the digital industry. The majority of you may know now it's called UX UI design. After teaching myself that for 7 months, I began the hunt for a career, and eventually I landed at a job at 500px. So to me, this was a great segmentation between everything that I've learned in the past few years, whether it's design, engineering, as well as photography. Having all those three things come together is really a cool thing to see. I don't think the quality of my photos has changed much, just because the type of gear that I'm using has been the same for the past 3 years. The style has adapted a lot. I started off shooting like this minimalistic vibe, and then it switched over to like this street film aesthetic, which then moved into shooting like architectural landscapes, and then back into this street gritty aesthetic. And overall, over the past few years, I've become like an all-rounder. Like I don't really stick to a certain aesthetic or style of photography. It's just whatever comes, I shoot. I don't really like to limit myself in that way. One thing I really enjoy doing is wiping my feed. So every once in a while, when I'm at a creative rut, I'll just wipe all my work off of social media. Me clearing my feed allows me to like create new content without having to worry about whether this fits my feed or not, or fits my body of work. It's like that feeling of moving to a different city and being that new kid on the block. Like no one knows you and you have the chance to make something of yourself. I think gear is pretty important, but there are certain limitations to it. Like there's something known as gear acquisition syndrome, where you'll never actually have the best gear for any situation. But it's like working within your constraints is where true creativity happens. Whether you're shooting on your DSLR, mirrorless, or your phone, I'm more fixated on storytelling. How can I best convey a thought into my viewer, rather than how can I get the most technical shot. With that being said, without proper gear, I can't tell a story, and without a story, the gear is useless. So there has to be a fine balance between the two. When it comes to other people looking at my work, it's actually kind of flattering in the sense, because I never saw myself in that light where I'm an inspiration for other people. Like I'm still fighting that battle within myself, and I'm still looking outward for inspiration. From time to time, I do copy from others. So for someone to copy off me and iterate off of my work, that just allows someone else to create content in their own way. And I think that's a pretty interesting thing. Eventually want to release a couple of books. I want to get my photo books into stores and into the hands of every single consumer that I can possibly can. I just want to spread my work as far as possible so that everyone can see it and have their own opinions and start conversations.